Jeff, thank you for having me again.
Oh, I know. It's becoming a habit, huh?
Sorry, I'm late. It's just getting out of another meeting. So,
Oh man, no worries. No worries.
thank you for having me again, man.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
My
And
pleasure.
you always come equipped with like the proper, appropriate background, and it makes me very jealous. But I
Well,
also respect the game. I respect the game.
20 plus years of doing junkets, I have to have something in the background. It's just habit. So gotta make it look right.
It's so cool, man. It looks awesome.
Well, this is thanks for talking to me about Don't Breathe 2, which is radically different from the last movie we were talking about.
Yes, yes, yeah. The other movie might haunt you a little bit for different reasons.
Yes,
maybe like philosophically haunt you. This one is gonna haunt you to the bone.
And this movie was what a really despicable premise. Stealing people's organs. This movie is not really about the killings. It's just about the premise of the whole movie, how just revolting it is. It's just really it's disturbing, and I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, it's incredibly disturbing. If you want to go see a movie that's comforting and heartwarming, this isn't the one. I do think it's a coming of age story, but this movie is just leaves you uncomfortable from Jump Street. From
the most warped coming of age story. That's weird you mentioned that, because that's like my favorite genre. That didn't even cross my mind there was a coming of age movie. But
look into it. See,
no.
Know what you think about it.
Totally agree with you now. But reading the script, when did you realize what a low-life Raylan was? I mean, at what point did you just put down the script and went, "You gotta be kidding me"?
Oh, like it didn't happen until the end. Like, everyone is the hero of their own story. And Raylan certainly thought he was the hero of his own story. And he sees himself in that light. But there's some twists and turns in here. And then, you don't know who to root for. And maybe you root for this one. If you're not rooting for the little girl, who's the only person you really should be rooting for, you don't know who to root for, which is why the film is so uncomfortable. And then Raylan just totally betrays all these people that are close to him, and you certainly grow to despise him. If you were ambiguous at one point, you're no longer ambiguous, that's for sure.
And not only that, just Raylan's tunnel vision, his obsession on why he's doing what he's doing, which we don't want to give the twist away, but it's just so demented, That's true love, right?
Demented is a great word. And yes, that's what it was. And the one thing I wanted to nail down with the director upon first meeting him was that backstory. And that backstory to me is actually what propels the whole plot. And we don't learn about it until much later in the film, but without that backstory, there is no sequel. There is no movie. They would have no reason to do what they're doing without that connection that was so deep. That's the whole movie, really.
And it took me a minute to even find you in the movie. You were unrecognizable in that van at first. I'm like, oh my God, it's Brendan. Because did you work on your look? Well, you just didn't shave and just roll out of bed, or?
That's so cool, man. Thank you for saying that. That's so cool. I will say, like, the highest compliment I get from people is not that I recognize you from that movie. It's that I saw that movie and I don't recognize you from that movie. And I certainly don't want to be associated with Raylan in any way. So it's a real compliment to hear. And as I get older as an actor, I let the makeup and the wardrobe do all the acting for me. And I had a wonderful opportunity to do that in this film.
Yeah, just to get rid of Raylan, you just shower and shave and you're off. He's gone.
Pretty much. Except I had to do another role like immediately afterwards, and they asked me to grow my hair out. And so this is my first haircut and shave in 9 months, actually. So this
looking good. You clean up good.
It feels good. It feels good to be finally done with some of these roles.
Madeline Grace, she gave such an emotional performance. Did she impress you like early on?
Oh my God, I adore that little girl so much. Madeline Grace plays Phoenix in the film, and she is just a powerhouse performance. She impressed me because I'm pacing on set with a furrowed brow, and I'm thinking of terrible things and trying to get into character and get into the scene, and she's just literally skipping on set and tapping me on the shoulder and sharing candy with me and talking about what she ate that day, and it's just a sprite full of joy, and it's just the most joyful human being there is. And I couldn't no longer take myself so seriously, and then it's just like and she would turn it on immediately. So she'd be skipping, and then they yell rolling, and immediately, boom, she's Phoenix. And
He's in
so,
character. Wow.
yeah,
And
yeah.
did Stephen Lang have tricks with his performance? Did he stay in character, or did he have certain rules? Because you could just see that he became someone else. I mean, just the way he looks and the way he would. So was there rules on the set to how to treat him or approach him, or?
He's just one of the most dedicated actors I've ever worked with. And one thing I like to say about him is like, he's not going to give it to you if you don't bring it, because that man is bringing it all the time. He's bringing well over 110%. And he wore contact lenses throughout filming, which negated his ability to see. Like, he could see shadows and shapes, but he could not see like the majority of us. And so he even did action sequences like that while he's performing his own stunts. So he's just an absolutely dedicated individual. And
That is wild. That is
yeah,
so
he's a beast,
wild.
man. He's so cool. He's a beast.
What else I love about this movie that I think steals a lot of the movie is the production design, the house, the greenhouse, the abandoned hotel with the empty pool. I mean, and I thought, well, they found a house. No, they built all that stuff, didn't they?
Yeah. It's supposed to take place in Detroit, suburban Detroit, and we were filming in Belgrade, Serbia, in the Balkans, and they built these houses on the street, and the production design is just amazing. There's an abandoned hotel where the story takes place towards the end, and we shot in this abandoned, beautiful, like Gothic type building, but it took weeks for them just to clean it up, let alone add the production design to it. And the production design to this film is so key in creating this creepy aura and just feel of dread and demise. It carries a lot of the thematic weight of the film, for sure.
Absolutely. And without giving any spoilers away, your final fight with Stephen Lang, the whole movie was building to that finally. How did you rehearse that? I mean, because sometimes it looked like, emotion took over, it's just, yeah.
I think, when you put Stephen Lang and me in a film together, emotion might take over from time to time. But I'll say this, we didn't get to rehearse that scene beforehand. There's a lot of action sequences in the film. The filmmakers said this was maybe more of an action film than a horror film, and at least in their eyes. And the other actors got to rehearse their scenes days or weeks in advance and really take it in and get some muscle memory out of it. And we didn't get that opportunity. We had to rehearse on set on the day, and it took us 5 days to shoot that really big set piece. And rightfully so, because it looks cinematically beautiful, just the colors and the smoke that's involved and just all the action sequences. So it took a long time to shoot, and Steven and I, we went ham. We went for it, and
it's up there. You can tell.
Yeah, and there's a moment where Steven nicked me with a fake machete, and I got a scar from it, and I still have it, and I kind of like having it. It's my little reminder that I accomplished something, and it's like
badge of honor.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, I know there's actors who do action movies and they break bones all the time, and they have maybe trouble getting out of bed in the morning, and so I understand, that takes a lot, and I'm glad to give it, and I know Steven was too.
And finally today, just the gang you were with, they got everything they deserved. I just want to say that right up front.
Yes, sir.
But what was the actor, the one with the long blonde hair?
Yes.
Every one of your
going to say him.
Every one of your cronies had a character, right? From the tough guy in the basement, the jarhead and all of that. Like, to try to stand out with a character in that gang without overshadowing everybody else, the stars of the film. I mean, he just really made a presence. He really did.
Adam Young is his name, and he's a great young actor, and he's going to do things. There's no way he's not. He's just so creepy, so scary. He's an absolute maniac, and he terrified me, and I know he's one of the sweetest young men I've ever met. So
something tells me he stayed in character when they said cut.
No, sir, he didn't. No,
he didn't. He just turned it off.
No, he's a delight. He's an absolute delight. He's like a hippie boy. He's the kind of kid who sleeps in hammocks and walks barefoot and walks on tight ropes and rather like perform juggling in the park or something. Like, he's an absolute treasure of a human being and a great actor.
Oh, not and Don't Breathe too, man. He came across
Oh, he's
one
awful.
psycho.
He's so terrible, so terrible. And there's not a moment where he breaks character in the film. He's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. He doesn't even have to say anything, and he's terrifying just by the way he looks.
Well, thank you for offending me, because I usually don't get offended, but man, this movie disgusted me and I loved it.
Good, good. Happy to disgust you in heart. That's
well,
my
congratulations on a great role, man, and appreciate you talking to me today. So
yeah.
We'll do it again soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Be cool.
All right,
Thanks
man.
again.
Take care.
Have a good one. Bye.